There's a bag of plastic there because we have to hide it from the cats.
LA Beast
here. Hey, what's up, Spooky fam? Today we are going to be talking about all of the horror movies that Alex and I watched in the month of June. Today is the 29th as I am filming. My goal was to watch 40 movies again this month, but we, as of right now, are only at 28, I believe. We tried. But if you guys want to see any more of me or support the channel any further, go ahead and check out the links down below. I'm gonna have to shit on a few of these movies because some of them were bad, but let's start off with the first, other than Love, Death, and Robots, the first horror movie we watched was Unhuman, and I could not have hated this movie more. I have a hard time with zombie movies to begin with. They're very hit and miss for me, so did not enjoy this one whatsoever. On the 5th, however, we did watch Sleepaway Camp 2, which we did a whole movie roulette video for that one. And then on the 5th, we also watched Hatchet 3, which arguably Hatchet is a very good series. I don't care, you know, like, this is the first time that I'm watching these movies. I just kind of ignored them for such a long time because I didn't think that I would enjoy the Hatchet series, but after going and watching In Search of Darkness so many times and going and watching so many, I don't know, 80s horror movies, I feel like I just enjoyed Hatchet so much more. So Hatchet all the way across the board. Have not watched Victor Crowley yet, but we just watched Hatchet 3, like I said, on the 5th of June. So maybe next month you'll see a Victor Crowley review. Moving on the 6th, we watched Opera, which you'll see a whole review about in Giallo week coming up. On the 7th, we watched Dashcam. I personally don't want to get into this because I hated this movie so bad. The whole Angela, the old lady she picked up in the back, the cursed old woman, spoiler alert, was the best part of the movie. So I don't know, Annie was just very unlikable. I didn't like how the movie was shot. I think Host was better. I just really did not like Dashcam. And if you did, that's your opinion, that's fine, but God, it was awful. Moving on. I'm just gonna mention this because I thought it was fantastic. I will leave it linked down below. Editing, Ashley, remember to add this link down below. We watched Shia LaBeouf's short film from 2011 called Maniac. It was so good. It's very graphic, so I'm just gonna leave a warning and like leave it linked down below. Very, very cool. Just amazing. On the 13th, we watched Barbarian Sound Studio. If you guys know who Peter Strickland is, if you've watched the Duke of Burgundy, amazing movie. What's the other one? In Fabric. Oh my goodness, In Fabric was amazing. Everything Peter Strickland does, I'm just a big fan. So we have to watch Flux Gourmet, which just came out recently. But like I said, on the 13th, we watched Barbarian Sound Studio. And it's like it's like hearing a Giallo film without watching a Giallo film, and it was so cool. You just see all the behind the scenes of the sound making, just all the audio. It's just so good. Oh, highly recommend. On the 17th, we tuned in to Joe Bob Briggs' Last Drive-In. I almost said Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. We tuned in to the Last Drive-In and we watched The Stepfather for Father's Day weekend. On the 19th, we finally watched Shiten, which in my opinion wasn't as graphic as I thought it was going to be. I feel like I have a scratchy movie poster where you scratch off everything that you've watched, and Shiten was on it, and I've been meaning to watch it for a long time. it just feels like an obscure movie that was placed on there because all of the other ones are very popular. If I remember, I'll like leave a thing here, but yeah, she then just felt like so out of place for that list, so we had to watch it. On the 21st, we watched Crimes of the Future, probably the best movie that I've seen in such a long time. So many people, I posted a TikTok on our podcast TikTok a long time ago, and I was like, what was the worst movie of 2022 for you guys so far? I chose Unhuman, obviously. So many people in the comments said Crimes of the Future, and I couldn't figure out why when I was watching it. I thought it was so good. And maybe I'm biased because we are huge David Cronenberg sluts. So he did wrong. Cosmopolis wasn't that great. But Crimes of the Future, man. Just all of the body horror, it was just so, I don't know, just sickeningly erotic, and I loved every minute of it, but like, amazing. I'm sorry if you didn't like it, but I loved it. Another movie that I absolutely loved, on the 25th, we watched Watcher finally. Oh my goodness, was Watcher ever a good? That movie was fucking scary. As someone who recently just had to, both of us had to make a complaint because we had a situation where a security guard at my work was being very creepy with me and Alex. He was just like making us feel really uncomfortable. It was really yucky, and like all of my other coworkers were like really grossed out by this guy. So after dealing with that situation, like I had to come home early from work because of it. Like it really upset me. After dealing with all of that and then watching Watcher, it was like, oh yep, this is terrifying. Honestly, because I don't know, it just, I've been in so many situations where things have been, I don't know, sketchy with sketchy people, men specifically. But moving on the 25th, we also watched Lost Highway for a movie roulette episode. And on the 25th, we watched The Love Witch, which was pleasant. It was pleasant. It was a very good movie. There was a weird like Renaissance fair sequence that we could have done without it, but other than that, fantastic movie, beautiful movie. On the 26th, we did watch Men, and I'm still conflicted with how I feel about Men because part of it was very good for me, part of it was very strong for me. Rory Kinnear, I just want to punch him in the face so bad. The CGI near the end was bad, in my opinion. I mean, cool, it was very cool, but it just, like, you could tell the practical effects just do something that when you've watched so many practical effects. I'm very stuck on 80s horror, so like, you know, when I think about things that are done like that, it just feels like it should be an easy choice, but I guess CGI is an easier choice. Just the deep fake of Rory Kinnear's face on every other, like, I can't get past it. But I really, you know, what's her face? Jessie Buckley, she carried the movie on her back, I will say that. Yeah, it's a weird one. That was a weird one. But wrapping up, two last movies we watched on the 26th, a new Shudder original called Revealer. It was okay. It was a very mid movie. It was a fun watch. It was a very fun watch. Very good versus evil undertones, kind of biblical, very biblical. But I mean, it was a good fun watch. And then wrapping up on the 28th, yesterday, we watched Blood and Black Lace. And you guys will also get a full review of that when Giallo Week finally starts. So let me know what you watched in the month of June. I almost said July, we're not there yet. If you guys watched as many movies as we did, let us know, because we would be very curious to know what you watched. Maybe you guys have some recommendations for us. But other than that, check out our links down below. Podcast, Alex's channel, my main channel. If you want to support us any further, that is all linked down below as well. I will see you guys soon. Sayonara, Spooky Fam.